Yes, really, that tells the story of the Sri Lankan innings. It was dominated virtually by Sangakkara, Thoranga and Jayawardene making useful contributions. But again, I think Morkel did bowl well, looking at his figures. He didn't start too well with a spate of wides, but settled down well as it went on. But the rest of the bowling took a pounding.
Now that's what I've been waiting for. At some point, Malinga was going to drop one short. And when he does and he rushes you, once he's pushed him back, because you know he's got a little bit of pace and it skids on you, you're hesitant to look to get forward. And when you don't do that, and you get this type of delivery and your feet are nowhere, you're in trouble.
Yes, with someone like Malinga's action, your point of release has to be absolutely perfect, because he's so square. That's another short one, straight to the fielder, because if he does release it too early, it could go wide off the off stump to the left-hander, or say if it does it late to a left-hander, it could go down the leg stump. So his point of release has to be absolutely perfect, and the day his rhythm doesn't fall into place, he can get into all sorts of problems. And that's one of the reasons that accounts for the off days he comes across.
Famous slower delivery that he has. Yes, just talking about the Sri Lankan innings, I mean, when you look back on that innings and you reflect, it was one heck of an innings from Sangakkara. This is something. Lasith Malinga against South Africa, 22 wickets at an average of 19 and a half. So clearly they have not mastered him at all, and would have spent a lot of time talking about him in the change room, that's for sure, before the start of play. On the pad, just such a fascinating character for the game, for cricket, for watchers around the world, you know. The difference in the way his hair looks and the way he bowls, and his approach to the game is just so different. A breath of fresh air, and much talked about, much loved.
Absolutely, and I think that is what this game requires. Sort of players with a difference who can be great entertainers. And if you have players coming out like out of a factory line, you really would find the game very boring. You're talking about Sangakkara, Pat. I think he doesn't complicate the game, and that is why I think he's such a brilliant player. You could see how sort of uncomplicated he is, plays straight, plays close to his body, and just does the orthodox things right.
Well, I'm going to reel off a couple of stats that I've been watching throughout his innings, which I've just fascinated with. I'll get to that in the next over. Careful of Alvaro Peterson. Just at times he might shuffle across the stumps. Got to play straighter. Ends the over. 9 for 1 versus 10. So the stats already favouring Sri Lanka. And when you post that score on the board, you look at that, South Africans are up against it. JP Duminy and Alvaro Peterson. Dumini's already faced 13 deliveries. Well, Kumar Sangakkara, let me tell you, it faced... he had 66 off 91 balls. He was way behind the rate. Let me tell you what he ended up with. Big shot. Was that going down the leg side? Was it a bit high? Not often from Malinga. Not out is the call.
Sri Lankans looking to refer that one. Sangakkara probably would have been in the best position to make the judgment. And he probably feels that it's a little too high, or was it outside leg stump? But again, I think Sangakkara's comment is going to make the decision, and they decided not to refer it.
Well, there was a hint of in swing to Duminy. If anything, it was beating leg side. Let's have a look. Well, before he even gets down the other end, it's not out. Good call from umpire. Very good. Just getting back to Kumar Sangakkara, he had 66 off 91 balls. Believe this, he got 91 off his last 39 deliveries that he faced. 91 off the last 39 balls he faced. That is quite incredible. And with Teranga, well, the partnership was 118 and 80 balls, of which Teranga made 17.
Again, I think it's really a question of self-confidence. He knows that once he gets through those early overs, keeps his wicket intact, once the ball gets softer, that he really can go after the bowling.
Ranjitors, you've watched a lot of one-day innings, and I have as well, and I'm sure our viewers of thousands of innings that they've watched. But that innings of 100 from Kumar Sangakkara was as good as one-day innings, pacing itself, as you'll ever see. And seldom have I seen an attack mauled as badly as that when you get 91 or 39 balls. Oh, now look at this. Now, as a batting side, you really don't want to see that. It wasn't the slow ball.
Quite right, Pat, because I think the South African attack had two very quality quick bowlers in Morris and Morkel. The spinners probably a little inexperienced, but Sangakkara really took heavy toll on all of them.
For 1.